Hi guys! So I thought I would jump on the strobing bandwagon and I would do a video, maybe not a tutorial video, but just a talk through video about my thoughts and my opinions on strobing and how I would approach the method. I also thought because strobing on its own would not be complete, I would also talk you through how I contour and highlight normally on an everyday basis, and then take it a step further and show you how I would strobe. And I think you guys can see here, my skin is really like reflecting off that light right now. I am strobing. If you guys want to learn more about my thoughts and how to contour, how to highlight, how to strobe, definitely stay tuned. Okay, let's talk about contour products. You can use either a cream or a powder. I personally prefer powder contours just because I find that it's a lot less steps and you don't have to blend as much. So for powder, I generally use bronzers to contour my face. And yes, there are a bunch of contour kits out there, but I don't see the necessary need for them because I feel like you're either going to use maybe 2 powders out of the contour kit and you pay for 6. Unless you're a makeup artist who works on a lot of different skin tones, that will likely be really useful for you. But for, the at-home, everyday type of makeup enthusiast, I think you only need 1 powder. And to get the perfect contour shade, you might have to play a little bit, but the first thing to note is to find your skin's undertone. The easiest way to do that is to look at the back of your wrist and see what color your veins are. Usually if your veins are color green under your wrist, like mine are, as you guys can see here, you have a warmer undertone. So you can pick bronzers that are not as ashy and have a bit more of a redder orange undertone, and it won't look too crazy on you. Whereas if your veins underneath your skin are blue, you have more of a cooler undertone. So you can kind of use contour powders or bronzer powders that are a bit more ashy. So they tip more on the gray side. But my favorite to contour with, it's NARS's Laguna bronzer because it has that darker, reddier tone, but it's still a bit ashier than, say, the refined golden. As you guys can see, this is a bit grayer, but it's not gray. I think for some people might find this a bit too warm for their contour, but I actually really like this. You obviously want a contour bronzer shade that's not shimmery. You want something matte, or at least as close to matte as you can get. It can have a bit of a sheen depending on how you use it. And that's because you're trying to create shadows in your face. And so with glittery bronzers, you will find that it will accentuate things instead of recede them. So that's a great tip. Make sure, 1, you know your skin's undertone. 2, you know what works best for you. Go with something that's maybe a shade. And if you want to go a bit further, maybe a shade or 2 darker than your skin tone. And then go with something matte or something that doesn't have a lot of shimmer. Okay, so let's get into the contouring. I don't have anything on my face other than foundation. So I wanted to show you guys how I would contour my face. I'm using a Real Techniques contour brush, and I really like this brush for contouring because it is just the perfect shape. It has a round fluffy top, but it's small and it fits right in the hollows of your cheeks. So you get a very precise line, but it's not so angular. What I generally do is I suck in my cheeks and place the powder right underneath. And like I said, I also like to bring it up a little bit higher just to make my cheekbones pop a bit more. And the next place to contour would be your jawline. You just draw a line from the back of your ear to the front of your chin. And then you just place the powder there and run it along. Make sure you're doing it underneath. You never want to put it above. And then right above your temple on your forehead, because that's where the sun would naturally hit, but also you kind of want to recede that area. And then I don't do a very strong contour on my nose, just slightly, just to give it a bit of a shadow, make my nose look a bit more sculpted. I hope you guys can see kind of the difference. Other than my cheek, there's not a whole lot happening. But here, You have a bit more dimension on your face. The nose looks a little thinner. The jaw looks a bit sharper. And the cheekbone looks a bit more lifted. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'll be right back and I'll finish the rest of my face. Okay guys, so I've contoured both sides of my face and you guys can see slightly the changes that have occurred because I've used contour. It's just, like I said, it's just kind of pulling certain features back. It's drawing them back into your face to give you a bit more dimension, to give you a bit more structure and make your face look a lot skinnier, which is always what we want. But I think with contouring, you always have to do highlighting. I don't think you can leave a house just contoured. I think you should always do contouring, highlighting in conjunction with each other. So with highlighting, you guys from my makeup tutorials know that my favorite highlighter is MAC's paints in the color Stilife. I love this because it's a cream product. It's very easy to maneuver. It's very shimmery, but not over the top. I love this thing. It is my favorite highlighter. So highlighting is essentially placing light on the high points of your face. So you want to place it at the tops of your cheekbones. And again, I'm just going to do one side so you guys can see the difference. The top of your brow bone, the top of your cupid's bow. I generally don't do this because I have full lips, but this helps make your lips look a bit more full and adds to the pout. And then I do this in kind of a sun type of formation right in the center of your face, but you want it to kind of flare out. And then the last place that I put this is down my nose. And instantly for me, I think I see it. Like whenever I highlight the bridge of my nose just seems to look a lot thinner. I did that very forcefully. It just looks a lot slimmer. So here you can see no highlight. Here you can kind of see there's a bit more light bouncing off of my face. You know, the highlight catches the light a bit more and you have a bit more of a glow. I'm going to finish the rest of my face and then we'll move on to strobing. So as you guys can see, this would be like an everyday highlight and contour look for me. All that's missing on my face is maybe a bit of bronzer to kind of give me that sun-kissed look, and then I would just add blush. But since we're strobing, I think I'm gonna show you how I would strobe with the Ofra Lush Stripes Illuminating. So all I do is I just take a strip down, tap off the excess. With strobing, you want to just add slowly. So all we're doing is going mainly on the tops of our cheeks and then adding a bit to our brow bone. So guys, immediately you can see the difference. Here on this side, it's still highlighted, but not nearly as light reflecting and light catching as this side. Whenever you want to strobe, you want to highlight right under your brow bone and right at the tops of your cheeks, right there. You want a fluffy brush to do that because then you can kind of place it but still disperse it because you don't want it to look crazy. And you can go even further than this. You can keep adding it to the point where really it's just like a beam is coming off of your face. Since, you know, we are strobing, I thought I would kind of amp up the highlight on my nose. And I just like to use my finger and just press into each of the colors. And then I'll just... Now let's just put on a little bit of blush and then we're done. As you guys can see, there is a big difference between highlighting and strobing. And you can see there is just a lot of light being reflected off of my cheeks. For me, for an everyday look, this is a bit much. I feel like you can go so far with your highlighting and your strobing where you look like you're sweating. And that's not a cute look when it comes to makeup. I think there are a lot of trends that are quite interesting and they're quite fun to play around with, but I think for every day, this is not going to be something that I will be using. I will definitely always contour and highlight, maybe not to the same extent as this video, but I always want to still strike the balance of receiving certain features from my face and then bringing certain features forward with contour and highlighting. You can definitely take a great Instagram picture and a great selfie. Let's go do that right now. Oh, strobing, on point, yes. It's really fun. It's really easy. It's not as complicated as a lot of people make it. It's just extreme highlighting with a cooler name. You guys definitely go try it out. Definitely let me know in the comments down below what you think of strobing. Do you think you'll try it? Do you think you'll like the beam coming off of your face? So thanks again for watching, guys. Please give this video a thumbs up if you love strobing or if you just love makeup. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free, and that way you guys won't miss out on any videos from me. For those of you who already have subscribed, thank you so much. Also, don't forget to check me out on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!